It's Nicole, and I'm here today with my client, Wendy, and we are so excited to share. Wendy has agreed to come on here and talk a little bit about the Unleash the Priestess Within and Thrive program, which is a program that empowers women to unleash their passions, their power, and their purpose. And I'd love, Wendy, if you could just tell ladies out there, what was the biggest takeaway that you had going through the program, the 12 weeks?
Yeah, it was such an incredible program. I learned so much about myself. And I think the biggest takeaway is that I had spent a lot of time in my life blaming other people for not realizing my happiness. And what my biggest takeaway through this entire program is that it was all about me. In other words, you have to learn to dig deep and love yourself because no one else can do that for you. And so that is the biggest lesson in this, or at least it was for me, is to love myself so that I can then give more to others. And it's been an amazing breakthrough through over the last 8 weeks. Pretty incredible.
Thank you for sharing that. And it's true, right? Self-love, self-care, and how that ripples out and affects and impacts our whole lives. And what I love about you and how you showed up is really owning your personal responsibility, like what you were responsible for, and not being afraid to admit it. You know, a lot of people, it's like, we don't want to admit that there's things that we need to change or look at. And you did that with such grace and such ease. And also the accountability piece. You showed up so authentically and vulnerably and with commitment. I'd love to know from you, what was your obstacle, in your words, what was your obstacle coming into the program? What did you feel like you might have been missing, or what was missing for you?
I felt very stuck in my life. I just felt like it was very mundane, routine, and it was kind of missing the joy. And so I was really seeking guidance to find out, how can I change that? How can I get out of that rut, change my routine, and really live a life filled with joy? And this program really helped me figure out what those blockages were. I felt very unhappy. I'm still in my corporate job, but I was struggling with just working and not finding any kind of pleasure in that. And this kind of helped me uncover my creative space. Doing the vision boards was an amazing breakthrough. I just feel like I've allowed myself time to now focus on the things that are important to me, which is going down this path of spirituality and learning more and embracing it more, and also drawing all those like-minded people toward me, and purging a lot of those older toxic relationships, toxic mentalities, this idea of having to be busy all the time. I now have time. Like, I've created space and allowed myself time, and it's amazing just to feel it slow down. There's really nothing so important that you have to do. Certainly not going to TJ Maxx and Marshalls on the weekends. I'd much rather be, meditating and being creative. And I've allowed myself to really move into that space and not be busy, and just find more joy in every day.
That is so great. I love how wise you are by saying I'm allowing myself. Because again, it's coming back to permission, giving yourself permission, taking ownership of what you are doing in your life, of the busyness and creating the distractions and all the avoidance, and which we all do, right? And coming to a place of like, wait a second, I can actually change this thing and create the space that I need. We actually stretch time. It's so crazy. Like, we think we have no time and all this lack mentality and scarcity. And then all of a sudden, when we just refocus and reprioritize and rebalance our lives, things come into focus in a different way. And like you said, it's like, wait, how did I have all that? I did have time. I just wasn't really utilizing it or efficiently, perhaps, or paying attention to the things that bring me joy. It's so great. It's so wise. Thank you for sharing that. It's super great. And I really don't have other questions other than like, if you were to say anything for completion or anything that you want to tell anybody as we wrap up, then other than that, I don't really have any questions. We'll keep it short and sweet.
I would just say that anyone who is feeling stuck in their life and they're looking to recalibrate and take a new path, bring joy back into their life, and fix relationships. That was also one of the biggest things, that I was so busy blaming others for how they acted or how we interacted. And once I took a step back and I stopped blaming, I was able to accept every single person for who they truly were. And when you do that, there is no blame. You are just accepting who they are, and then you can learn how to act or react within that framework. So it's been a huge lesson. If anyone is challenged with and typically I would say everyone is probably challenged with their familial relationships, which is their mother, their father, their brother, sisters, siblings, whatever that looks like, and even spouses, maybe even your kids, trying to figure out how to relate. This program has just been amazing, and I literally cannot wait to start at lesson number 1 again and go back through. It's like reading a good book. It's like, wow, I want to read this again and learn more. You always learn more when you go back through something a second time. So I'm looking forward to the ongoing lessons. Our work is never really done. This is, for me, more of a beginning of just, getting into that discipline and the practice and maintaining it, moving forward and really staying focused from here on out.
Oh, I love that. It's like, it's an ongoing journey. There is no magic bullet. But what I really love that you said that I want to impart upon women is getting you to a place, like you said, of empowerment. It's like really establishing good disciplines and practices and tools. I'm like tools queen. I love tools, right? As you know, the Priestess toolkit is getting you the tools so that you can go back and revisit and continue, because we will always have different initiations coming up. We will always have different chapters in our life. We will have new relationships and new challenges. And so we can navigate with the tools. They'll be applied in different ways. It's like you said, reading a good book. You might drop open to a page and be like, did I read this before? But now it resonates, right? So it was always there, but you didn't see it. And now you get to see it. And so that's going to happen, right, throughout the journey of this material. So I'm so excited that you brought that up and that you mentioned the tools, because there are many. And so I'm really stoked that you said that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Wendy. It's been an absolute honor and a privilege and so much pleasure to work with you and to watch you grow. And you're just such a magnificent powerhouse woman, like feminine goddess in this world. And the priestess within is so rocking. So thank you so much for all that you do in the world and the space that you hold with everybody that you touch. Really an honor.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be a part of the bigger group as well.
Thank you. The Priestess within sisterhood.
Yes, indeed.
I'm gonna